Hi, I'm Jennessa Couture, and welcome to Get Coach, a Destroy the Hairdresser podcast. Welcome back to Get Coached. I'm kind of excited about what we're going to do next. My Frenchie is, you can probably hear my Frenchie. That's what's happening next. What I was listening to some of the past episodes, some of them, the past episodes. And as much as I love a good complain session, and I will have plenty of those coming forward because, they're kind of my favorite. But what's the point of complaining if we don't have action applied to it? And so what I want to do going forward, we're going to try a fun little experiment. We're going to talk about some actual things that affect us as salon owners and stylists on a regular basis, but I want to give you actionable things that you can apply week by week. So every week we'll have a focus and you'll be able to have one task or two tasks that will help you break through some of the challenges that we feel all the time. So this is really what it's like to be a student. This is things I would deal with my own students, things as a student I dealt with myself. And so I really wanted to kind of show you just a snippet of what it's like to be actually coached. So today I want to talk about something that really plagues all of us, salon owners, stylists, just every human being, and that's burnout. And it's kind of a buzzword. We talk about it a lot. People will mention that they're feeling burnt out, but burnout is actually a really serious condition. Sometimes it can take on average anywhere from 3 months to a year sometimes to recover from burnout. A real burnout is not just stress, right? Stress is like a short-term pressure. And some people actually function with stress. We kind of need stress to function. So stress isn't always a negative thing, but an excessive, prolonged amount of pressure and stress and overwhelm can lead to a severe case of burnout. And when you are burnt out, everything is just so much harder. You are experiencing uncontrolled procrastination, very likely. You are not motivated in any way to get things done. Everything feels negative. Like every task is the worst thing in the world. And if somebody asks you one more thing, it's harder to control your emotions. There's a lot of depression, there's anxiety attached to all these things. You feel less creative. You're like everything about it just starts to shut your entire body down. And when you're running your business that way in a state of burnout, whether that's your business behind the chair as a clientele or that's your business as an actual salon, all of that does pile in to your business. There's no way it can't. You are mentally and physically exhausted and frankly have no other option but to reduce performance. That's the only way your body can sustain itself when you are in that state, is it's going to take energy from something else. You're going to not be able to focus on what you're doing. You're not going to be excited to do what you're doing. I know for myself, I experienced this so many times, especially as a stylist behind the chair. When I was behind the chair and running the company, I would be so exhausted because I was seeing, I think sometimes 3 clients at a time and still running the business, answering all the questions, doing all the things. And I felt like I had no help. But the truth was that I was so negative about everything that was happening. I didn't even realize that help was available and I didn't know how to help myself. And so I became so, to be honest, short-tempered, probably, annoyed with everything, tired, just exhausted. I think I came home and I would immediately just fall asleep on the couch. Like nothing else I could do, period. I couldn't do anything else. Like there was nothing else I could do ever besides work. I remember as a student, my coach one time asked me what I do for fun. And I had no answer for him. I had no clue what I did. What do I do outside of hair? I didn't have an answer. I'm a mom. I do hair. I run a business. That's it. And so I had to find time to get myself out of this state of burnout because it was affecting my business. I will tell you 100% I was self-sabotaging. I would find nothing was wrong, but I was finding things that were wrong because I was so anxious as probably the worst anxiety of my entire life as I approached real burnout. So what I had to do was I had to force myself to slow down. I had to force myself into some kind of self-care, something that got me outside of the salon. And again, self-care is like another buzzword that sometimes I have a bit of a problem with. I have a hard time with it sometimes because self-care can be so many different things. But I think sometimes we have this like vision of it, like self-care means meditating, or it means like, you know, having this like quiet, peaceful moment. But it's not always that. Sometimes it's just finding the thing that you really enjoy doing. And just giving yourself some time. That's what it can mean. So self-care is going to be different for everybody. Self-care can also be setting boundaries, right? Self-care can be turning your phone off so that your students or your stylists don't message you on a regular basis. I say students because I actually have that in my own homeroom with my students. We have quiet time where my phone will go off and I won't answer messages on the weekends and I won't answer messages after a certain time at night, because that, for my students and my stylists, that piece is necessary for me. It's necessary for me to be able to recharge and give my full ability the next day. Boundaries are self-care. All of these things are so important. Going out, finding something that you love to do, I recharge by being alone all the time. So finding moments I can sneak away and just be alone, even if that's stepping outside of the salon. If I'm in the salon, going outside, going for a walk, finding something that you know will get you out of that. It's like snapping your brain out of that moment. So what I want you to do is, what comes with this is it comes with like a redefining of success, right? Understanding that success does not always mean incredibly busy, because that's how we feel, right? We feel like our schedule has to look super, super, super busy. Like, I love working in blocks of time. It's my favorite thing to do because it makes me feel like I'm doing something. And so if I'm not physically doing something, I feel useless. And that also leads to burnout for me. And so if you have to schedule in self-care time, do it, right? Success isn't just being busy. Success is being able to function at your most optimal point. Whether you are a hairdresser or you are a salon owner, success is being able to have a clear mind and a clear vision so that you can move your career forward. It is the most important thing for you. So if you are experiencing burnout right now, I hear you. I see you. It's one of the hardest things to get out of. But what I want you to do this week is two things. I want you to focus this week on finding at least 30 minutes that you can take time for yourself. Now, this doesn't have to always be 30 minutes in one chunk. If it does only mean that you have 10 minutes while you're at work and you can just go outside, go outside. You would be amazed at how much that action alone will kind of disconnect your brain from all of the pressure that you're feeling in the salon. Just go walk down to the block. Just do something. At the end of the day, don't just sit in your car and decompress. I don't know if anybody else does that, but it's one of the things I always catch myself doing when I'm burnt out. But come inside, like go inside, find yourself a moment, take a bath, do something that you need, read a book, do whatever you need to do for 30 minutes to get yourself out of the pressure that you're feeling inside your business and reset your brain. That's something I want you to focus on every day this week. The other thing that I want you to do is I want you to identify pain points inside your business. One of the things that happens when we're in burnout is that all the small things pile up and they seem like such a big thing. And it's really hard for us to find small solutions for those big, big, big things. But what we can't really do is like see the forest through the trees. It's harder to pull those things apart. So what I want you to do is every time something just annoys you, I want you to remember it and write it down. Then we're going to start to make small solutions for those little mini pain points. It could be something as simple as like every time my stylist asks me where the paper towels are, I'm going to lose my brain. And the solution could be labeling the cupboard. But in the moment, you might not notice it, right? It might be so much. It might be that one thing that just absolutely makes you lose your mind. So if we write those things down, we find very simple solutions to it, we're going to start to pull apart that burnout and give you simple solutions to move forward. This one is so important. I want you to focus on you, because if you're not okay, nothing else is. So it's okay to be selfish, a little self-centered. That's what I want you to be, a little bit self-centered. It doesn't make you egotistical. It doesn't make you arrogant. It makes you caring. It makes you understanding, and it makes you compassionate, and it gives you back an excitement for your own business. So do that homework. If you want to DM me, find me on Instagram. I'd love to talk about it. If you have a chance, send me a message. I want to know if it helps at all. So I will see you here next week with your next homework assignment. Bye, all.
Hey hairdressers, are you looking for health insurance? It's time to get healthy with Hairdresser Healthcare, the only coverage designed specifically for the beauty industry. Whether you're an independent stylist, a salon owner with a team, a makeup artist, or a massage therapist, we've got you covered with comprehensive and affordable benefits. With options for self-enrollment and year-round open enrollment, taking control of your health has never been easier. And the best part is, it's available in every state. Visit hairdresserhealthcare.com and take control of your health today, because you, your team, and your family deserve it.